Dear Diary, a lot has happened since I first started doing YouTube. I already uploaded 63 different videos, 5 introducing new series, which I always love to do, and there's one coming up pretty soon as well, because there's another new series in Shonen Jump that I want to talk about. I uploaded 2 different theories, one about the gods of One Piece and one about Usopp and his future in Elbaf. They're all fun to think about, and I just think that One Piece has one of the most variety in it to ensure that every theory is somewhat different to a theory that another creator did a few weeks ago, a few months ago, or even a year ago. But everything has somehow still has my own touch, even if I take ideas from someone else. I still include my own ideas. And then we have 7 discussions about all kinds of topics, which are always so much fun to do, because I can talk about what I love. And well, One Piece obviously holds a big place in my heart because it's I think my favorite series. I mean, not my favorite. If I had to say something, I probably have other favorite series. But One Piece is the one I think about the most right now because it's one of the only ongoing ones that I have in my favorites. And there's still so many mysteries and things to discover in One Piece that you just never stop discovering new things. I mean, I read One Piece once, I watched the anime still going up through the entirety of the episodes, and then I read through the entire wiki of One Piece to create my what-if scenarios or other things. There's more and more details you discover if you just go through all the resources. Just look at the SBS or the Vivre cards, all these things that, not average, but the casual One Piece readers or watchers, they don't even know that SBS or cover stories or some other of these things, they exist. Some fans don't even, still to this point, they don't know that these things exist, and well, that's a big point that makes One Piece amazing. And because it has such a variety in content, and even there are some fan stories out there that are really good as well, and I might make some reviews about them to introduce you to more One Piece content, because I guess many of you are already caught up with the manga and maybe even watched all of the different One Piece movies. But what if you want more? That's where I come in with my what if scenarios and some other stuff I have planned for you. And well, I also can talk about other stories that other people did, and I think that's just the fun of me sharing my experiences with all of you. So now let me continue. We have started with the Ultimate Devil Fruit Guide, with only the introduction video so far, talking about how to properly implement the ultimate guide. And maybe sometime in the future, not maybe, I for sure will do the continuation of these, because I want to talk about the Mera Mera no Mi, the Gura Gura no Mi, the Magu Magu no Mi, the Numa Numa no Mi, and all these other ones. The Kage Kage no Mi is very interesting, but in my story, it's probably not what you think it is. Yeah, because now we also have a series, if you want to call it that, because I only did one video of this kind. I did one series or one video of VTubers in One Piece, because obviously I'm a VTuber. You always see me in this appearance, and this is how I'm going to appear for the future, because I just like appearing like this. It gives me more options, and you can see me. This is who I am. I'm Pyro. And well, the VTubers in One Piece is an interesting thing, because it depends on if you watch VTubers as well, but there are so many VTubers out there. Some of them are just idols, some of them are eldritch abominations, others are literally Satan themselves, or just a dragon, or some lizard, or some moose, or some other creatures out there. There are also a lot of cat boys and cat girls, but all these different VTubers. In my opinion, when I first started doing a video, it is actually the first actual video here before I did some live streams. It was about Kuroko, a VTuber who actually graduated or stopped doing her activities for the company she was working on. And that's just, there is so much to do for these characters, because they not always have a lot of lore to go off, but there is some fan art, and if you watch streams, you know about their personalities and what they have in their background going on. And then with their race and all the different character designs, you can make an entire story for them in One Piece, and that's just so fun in my opinion, just creating new content that people have never seen before. Like for Kuroko, I said that she was one of the Yakuza leaders in Wano because she obviously has this big connection to Yakuza because it's her favorite game, and she obviously appears like a Yakuza member herself. And then it makes sense for her to be on Wano. Because she's a dragon, there's this whole like problematic like feelings and connection to Wano because they have Ryuma, who was a dragon slayer himself. So how did she interact with all of these people if she's a member of the Yakuza, but left the members of the Yakuza and Wano because she wanted to join up with the other people of her crew, and then come back years later because she heard about the troubles with Kaido and maybe some stuff going on with Luffy, and she returned back because she is not like Kaido, an Azure Dragon, she's a Western Dragon, and she's just there ready to fight against whatever is going to go in her way. But before we're going to talk about that too much, let's continue, because this is the biggest part of my channel. The what if scenario of what if Luffy was never born, and its continuation, if you want to call it, which is Shadow Piece, or what if Maria is the main character of One Piece. 47 different videos of this series, so far 47 videos, and it's only going to go even higher. I estimate it to be around, maybe we'll reach the 60 episode mark when we finish the series, and this is going to be a big one, and there's going to be a lot to talk about. Plus there's still a lot of setup that I have done since a while back. Like I have stuff set up since Marineford, if you want to think about that. And that's my league for you if you want to think about these things. So here we are, and all these things are going on more and more. So now let me talk about a few stats that we have accumulated over these past few months. Almost a year basically already. I have 2083 views, or some other stats said 2200 views, but I guess it's over 2000 views. That's, even though all of these numbers are small compared to other creators, it really means a lot to me, because this is something that I did. I worked on these things. I have written these scenarios, I have written these discussions, these theories, these reviews for new series or introduction to new series. All these things I spent my time on, be it as just my hobby, but it's also my passion to do these things. And over 2000 views is somewhat, like, it's satisfying to see that this number went up and up and up over these months. And we also have 34 subscribers. I've really stayed on 25 subscribers for a long time, but then I had this not a sudden increase. It took some while until, from going to 25 to 34, but I would love for it to grow more and more in the future, because essentially that's what every YouTuber strives to do, right? We want to increase the size of our channel to share and like give our passion and ideas with the rest of you. We want to give you something for you guys giving us the views, the likes, and everything else. It's just, there's a lot to think about here. And then we have over 150 hours of view time. So this means all the videos I upload are about, I guess, between 15 and 30 minutes long, and altogether people watch them as much as 150 hours. I mean, as I said, I know some of the view times for people like Grandland Review, O'Hara, or Rogersbase, Teching 101. All these people have insanely high numbers, but that's because they've been doing this for over 10 years, for over 10 years, maybe over 5 years or something. And for me, I'm shortly approaching my 1 year mark, and there's still a lot to do. And we will do that together. So here it is. That's also interesting. That's something you probably didn't know, because the other things you might have guessed, but I have 43,000 impressions on all of these videos, which means over 40,000 people have seen my videos in their recommended, in their somewhere else, or some other stuff, like on some other websites, or just somehow saw the thumbnail of my video. That's an impression. And 40,000 people, I mean, if all of them clicked on a video and watched that would be insane. That's more people than I have views in total. And if only like 10% of those 40,000 people subscribe to me, I would already have 4,000. It's insane. I don't want to think about that, because that's actually, I don't know, I need to do something to get these impressions actually go over to the videos, and there's always going to be improvising for that, because I have improved my thumbnails and I guess that brought more people into it. I have improved my titles, which have brought more people into it. I have improved my scripting or just free talk ability, which obviously, like the other things I said, brought more people to this channel. But there's so much more we can do, like new what if scenarios. One that I've seen like asked for, not only on this channel but also on other channels as well, was what if the Straw Hats trained longer than 2 years. And actually, I'm going to tell you what this what if scenario is going to be about in this video. It would be stupid. They couldn't train longer for 2 years, because if they trained longer, if they only trained longer for 1 more day or for a week, that would have led to basically maybe Brook getting catched by the people after doing his Soul King activities. It would have led to everybody staying longer on their island. I mean, Sora would have trained a bit longer, he would have been stronger, Sanji would have been a bit stronger, but the most problematic thing is, I don't know how Law would have continued. If Luffy and the others went there 1 week later, 1 year later or something, they wouldn't have gotten the distress call from, what's the island called again? Punk Hazard, which means they wouldn't have gone to Punk Hazard, wouldn't have found Kinemon, Momo and Law, and wouldn't have formed an alliance, which means they wouldn't have fought against Kaido, Doflamingo and all these things. So it just wouldn't work. And that's why I think the scenario of what if they trained longer for 2 years, it doesn't work out. It's an interesting thought at first, but if you put a more, like, if you actually think about it and don't just type it out, you notice that so much stuff relied on them to actually set sail on that exact date where they did to continue with the story, which means One Piece wouldn't have happened, or we would have had a completely different story. Maybe they would have gone to this island where the thunderstorm is happening, or just to a completely different island. But now let's talk about a different what if scenario, which is the next two are something I have thought about, and I don't think I've seen them on YouTube so far, but if you've seen them, please tell me. The first if, what if Luffy was in Pokemon? And that's a bit crazy, I know. It's not about One Piece if you think about it, it's actually about Pokemon. But if our protagonist from One Piece, Luffy, went there, so what would happen? What would he do? And I think I'm probably going to go about like just one of the scenarios for one Pokemon or something. Like, let's go for the XY series if you watch that, where Ash almost won the league. But now we know what would Luffy do if he was inside of the Pokemon universe, maybe in one of the specific seasons, or just in general, what would he do if he was in this universe? And then the first was, what if with reverse roles? This is completely in One Piece universe, but what if all of the roles were reversed? Like, the Luffy and the other Straw Hats, or all of the pirates that we know, are Marines, but all of the Marines that we know are pirates. Like, the Yonkos are the commanders. We have Kaido, Big Mom, Shanks as the admirals, and Blackbeard. Well, Blackbeard is going to become an admiral then later on in the time skip as well. And I would say that Whitebeard would be the fleet admiral at the beginning of the story. This is just stuff that I think about at the spot right now, and it's going to be worked out a lot more when I actually implement it into a series, or just, it's not going to be like the what if Luffy was never born with over 60 videos at the end, because I can't go through the entire story because everything would be so much different, but it could still be a good chunk of episodes. I could do between 3 and 5 episodes or more about that. There's so much to think about. And obviously there's also going to be more and more discussions. I want to talk about all the different topics, not only One Piece. I'm currently only focused on One Piece because there's just so much to talk about, and I started out with that, and so I'm not sure, what if I go to different series? Is this something that you guys would like to see, or would this be, you guys wouldn't watch me talk about Fairy Tail, not Naruto because I don't like that, like Fairy Tail, Ascendance of a Bookworm, new Isekai series, or generally new series that are airing in the next upcoming seasons or something. And then, well, yes, the start of the Ultimate Devil Fruit Guide is going to be something big for this channel, because this series could be endless with so many Devil Fruits already being introduced. But now we come to the most important part of this video. And well, I already reached 15 minutes of recording time, so it's time to talk about the most important part of this video. Now let's get into it. Even more projects are going to come, and they are going to be more high quality, more hard, like working on everything, and more original than ever before. So this sounds a bit stupid, but just imagine it's like an anime studio. I'm going to start Prima Studios for myself, which is just, it's my last name, Pyro Prima, it's the last name Prima, and Studios because it's going to be my productions of original series. So like, let me introduce the first one, which is a One Piece related story. It's called One Piece Our Story. And no, it's not like you and my story, it's just the title of the story, where we follow the protagonist called Adam through his adventure throughout first off the North Blue, but maybe later on the Grand Line and like with the Paradise and New World, together with his friends that he will meet over the journey and going through his and their story. So in their perspective, it's our story. And there's just going to be a lot of, it's not going to be in this kind of video that you think. It's not going to be me like the water scenarios. It's going to be a completely written story, like a novel. It's going to be a novel, and it's going to be uploaded on a different site. Probably on multiple sites, but my main one would be Royal Road, if you know that. And I'm still going to not only going to upload that on this different site, but also going to like record myself voice acting or just recording the story of One Piece Our Story as an audiobook and upload these videos on YouTube then. So you can read it yourself on the website where I'm going to upload that, and obviously just the text version is always going to be a few chapters ahead of the audio version that I'm going to upload on YouTube. But you can use both platforms to talk to me about the story and through everything that's going to happen there, because there's a lot going on there and I have a lot planned out already. Then we have the second project, which is, excuse me, let me drink something because I'm talking for this and this is going to be important. So, the second part is multiple fantasy stories. Like One Piece Our Story is set in the One Piece universe, and it's a step for me to practice my writing skills and improve more and more. To have a final story set in the One Piece universe is for me to already have a world created, stories created, a backstories created. I can use stuff that Oda implemented, his systems, all these different things. Yeah, all the factions, all these things are usable for me to create in One Piece Our Story, my own story. So this is my first step, but then we come to all the fantasy stories. These things are not called fantasy stories. It's just a work in progress title because there are going to be multiple fantasy stories in a completely original universe or just a world for first. So they're going to be, just imagine it's like an anime. I don't have the visuals for you because these fantasy stories are going to be more it's not going to be in the written style. I mean, there's going to be a mix. Some of them are going to be in the written style, others of them are just going to be in my explanation style, like in the what if scenarios. But these are going to be 12 episodes long stories. Most likely all of them connected, or not all of them, but some of them are connected, others are set in different worlds and all these things. But now let me show you one thing that's going to be very big for this fantasy world. I have created this Wheel of Fortune, if you want to call it, because every time I'm going to create a new character, or just main character and some other important characters, I'm going to roll this wheel. So let's do it one time to see if you can see one of these special things I have prepared. Because there's a lot hidden here. There's this big space that obviously you think, and you will see the big space and not anything else. No special ability. And with no special ability, it obviously means the character would be a normal person. They would be born like a normal person, not having any special ability. And that's because the biggest mark of the no special ability is 3/4 of this wheel. And the other things are all special abilities like you would know from an isekai story or from another fantasy story with an overpowered protagonist, or just some fantasy story with a protagonist who has some sort of special power, system or ability. So here we are with fantasy stories. But then we come to what I would call the biggest project out of them all. It's somewhat of a passion project because I really like the series myself, and I just want to do something like this, but it's currently not possible for me. It's called Beyblade Dream, with already multiple seasons prepared. It's like going to start with Beyblade Dream Zero, Beyblade Dream Seeker, Beyblade Dream Chaser, and so on and so forth. And like Beyblade always has 51 episodes at a season, so would Beyblade Dream. Every season would be 51 episodes long. But currently I just cannot financially like support Beyblade Dream to make it as I wish it to be, as I want this dream to be a reality in the future. But obviously I can't do that right now. But the future possibilities are endless. So maybe Beyblade Dream will become a reality in the future. And why do you ask it's going to be financially impossible for me? Because for Beyblade Dream, I kind of want to make it like a visual novel. It's not only going to be written like One Piece Our Story, or just explained like the fantasy stories or some other the water scenarios. It's going to be a complete visual novel for Beyblade, with backgrounds of different scenes, with drawings of the characters, with different OSTs for different scenes. All of these things are going to take place in this world of Beyblade Dream, which is my complete original world for the Beyblade scenarios I'm going to write. But well, this all is going to be a bit in the future, it's going to wait a bit longer. Until then, I hope all of you look forward to the first one that's going to happen, which is One Piece Our Story. And I don't have a set date for anything here yet, but with me at least telling you about these things in this form of video, you know what I have planned and you know what will come for you in the future. So, as I said, look forward to that and take care of yourselves. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay cultured, and most importantly, stay hot. So this has been Prima, and we will see each other again in the next video for What If scenario, What If Luffy Was Never Born, Shadow Piece, the next part of Wano Act 3. Until then, take care. Bye!